I got a golf story for you. This is our segment called Golf Stories. And if you know me, you know what golf means. It's not the game. This story takes place the summer before my college program. And for all my Gen Z followers, back in the day, it used to be real illegal to golf. And so finding it wasn't easy. You know how every time you go to a pro shop, they always have product? Yeah, we didn't have pro shops. You went to a guy named Rick that you had met through a friend of a friend. And then you would text real sketchy to each other, using no names, code words, just like we're doing right now. You following yet? On the green? Yeah. So my area is going through a drought, and I'm beginning to get antsy. Now, when you're a pro golfer, one of the first things you do when you move to a new area is you start putting out the feels. Start throwing out little notes to people that seem part of the culture. Funny enough, that's how me and Mrs. Manatee met. We were at House of Blues. I mentioned I could go for a putter right now, and the rest is a tale as old as time. But I knew one independent golf supplier that lived in the town where my college was, which was about 2 hours away. So I text him like, hey, got any flow? And he's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, I will be there in 2 hours. Now, at this time, money was tight. I was saving up to move to Orlando, and I was about to go buy an O of golf supplies. So I had to make every penny count. So to save gas, I rode my motorcycle. So off I went, 2 hours, picked up my golf supplies, and hung out a little bit. I look outside, and I start to notice the sky's getting a little dark. Like, real dark. So I tell my independent golf supplier I guess I should head out. I take my newly purchased bag of golf supplies and I put it in a little leather satchel out in the front of my motorcycle. Because for one, I don't want it to get crushed or destroyed in any way. And secondly, I'm paranoid. In my head, I'm like, if they search for it, it'll definitely be the saddlebag. Like police wouldn't look in the front bag. Yeah, that makes sense. And merrily I roll along. Down 2 hours south. About 15 minutes into the drive, the winds pick up. And these are some strong winds. Every so often I just get blown into the other lane. And then the rain begins. And the marble-sized hail. So here I am, 45 minutes from home, driving 45, being whipped back and forth by the wind, and getting a deep tissue massage from the rain and hail. Luckily there was nobody driving in the other lane when I kept getting blown over, because nobody would be out in the storm like that. At one point, my headphones started playing This Is the End by The Doors, and I was like, oh yeah, this is an omen. I golfed too close to the sun! Also, I might need to mention that I might have golfed a little bit before I drove that, so I was just a little panicky. But I slowly made it the rest of the way home. I take a deep breath, which is really hard because I am so soaked. And I go around to the front of my motorcycle to get the golf supplies out of the container. And when I open the leather satchel, it was floating in there. Yeah, it rained so hard that my closed lid satchel had become a swimming pool for my golf supplies. And doing the backstroke in it was my golf bag. I instantly yank it out of the satchel like that's gonna make it drier faster. And to my surprise, the plastic bag that it was in was so well sealed that no water touched it. That's like a miracle. I then immediately took it inside and whacked a bunch of balls. I hope you're following along with this code. If not, this is a really weird story. Also, this might be a non-sponsored ad for Ziploc. Ziploc! When you're purchasing golf supplies in the rain, and you really like it to stay dry. Friends don't let friends use sandwich bags. That whole story would be, I had to go to the store and pick something up real fast. But also, totally worth it. Wow!